And now 150, 102, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 50.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the diaries. I don't know, it just sounded sinister. Anyway, welcome. This is episode 4 of Darkslade Diaries, version 2.0. Yay! Thank you. Today, this episode, we are going to go have a little sojourn into the Adventureland Porch. I'm going to tell you a little bit about it, why it's there, and there's a special effect that I'm working on, which we're going to try to implement. Sounded musical. Implement. Oh yes, we are. We're going to implement. Anyway, onto the Adventureland Porch. I'm going to go through the steps with you. Hopefully it will work. It's a trick that I learned from studying, Disney, but the workings of Yale Gracie and his many, many accomplishments in special effects for the parks. So I'm gonna try this out and see if I can get it to work. I'm hoping it'll be cool if it does. But yeah, we're gonna take a little bit of a look out there and do the things that are out there, the things that need to be done out there. What? Yeah. I'd like to repeat myself many times to make sure you understand what I'm talking about, because I apparently don't understand too well myself. So anyway, that's going to be basically what this episode is about. So without any further ado, did you know, by the way, before I get to that, did you know in episode 3 that I did not say, let's get going? We just went. Well, first time in all the years of doing Darkslade Diaries, the first version and version 2.0, I forgot to do that. So, without any further ado, let's get going! Well, I'm out here in the Adventureland Porch on the kind of boring side, because this is where my seat is. And before we go any further, I wanted to apparently be a little crooked. Whatever. I wanted to explain or express to those of you who do not know what the whole reasoning behind the Adventureland Porch is, why I call it that, and so forth. The reason I call it that is because that's what it looks like. And that was the intention. But not just the look, but the era that I have fashioned this after. When I was a kid, I got to go to Disneyland several times before I really understood everything about it, you know. When I was very young, when Disneyland was less than 10 years old. And there were two things that were a great influence on me. One of them I didn't see until a couple of years later, and that's the Haunted Mansion. It scared the bejesus out of me as a kid, more or less. I did see it in its opening year. It was unique, it was different, nobody had ever done anything like it before, and it was creepy. The other thing, which happened prior to that, would be the Jungle Cruise, which I don't like, never really have. And it's basically because, this is just me now, but I think that the joke's kind of cheap in it. But what I did love was the feeling and the ambiance of Adventureland. Now, Adventureland is the smallest land in the park. Although it takes up a lot of space, has a big footprint because it has 2 very large rides involved. But the pedestrian area of it is very small. And at sundown, when all the torches light up and the lanterns light up and things are just starting to transfer over, that's when I like to be there. And I will forego a lot of things outside of Gumbo at Disneyland to be in Adventureland when the sun goes down. Now, years later, when the Indiana Jones adventure went in, there was a facelift to Adventureland, and it not only had the feeling that everyone was accustomed to, but now it had an era and a location. And the era was 1930s, and the location was South America. The concept being, it revolved around the concept in the world of Indiana Jones. Now, they had kind of started that earlier with a rehash. But now there was an even bigger feeling, and I love that part of the park just that much more because it really puts you in that era, puts you in that year. So when I started doing the Adventureland Porch, I did it to convey both of those aspects to it. The South American jungles, South American part of South America, and the era of the 1930s. So I had made an Adventureland Porch. It looked like this. And it was, in my mind, it was wonderful. The canopy actually added to it because it took the side view away and gave me kind of a tunnel vision of the Adventureland aspect of the park. I mean, of the porch. See, there you go. I tore it down a couple of years ago because they were repainting all of this area and I had to take everything off the porch. So I broke it down, I saved most of it, but when I built it up again, I built it as a pirate's porch. I wanted that Pirates of the Caribbean feeling because at Disney World, and it was the first time I'd been to Disney World, Pirates of the Caribbean is located inside of Adventureland, which makes sense. But it also it doesn't fit smoothly together. So I had made this into a pirate's porch, more like Pirates of the Caribbean. Now I still like that aspect, and I wanted to keep a little bit of it here, which is why I have the lanterns and the next project that I'm going to do. But I started to miss the Adventureland Porch and the stuff that I could do with it, especially using the era. Because when it's Pirate's Porch, you can't really use that era too well. So I started rebuilding, redesigning, and we have the Adventureland Porch. And I used to have a sign right here that said Adventureland, and I gave it away to a good friend of mine who is also a big fan of that part of the park for his use. And I did not expect to go back to just being an Adventureland Porch, so I am looking into either building or getting a new sign for it. So basically what I did is I just bought a bunch of greenery, and some of it fits into the location and some of it doesn't, but it's all around, and I'm not done with that part yet. What we're going to do in this particular episode is, however, one of the things is a new special effect that I'm going to put out here. Hopefully I can get it done today and we can see how it looks tonight, because I spend more time out here in the evening than I do in the daytime because of the sunset thing in Adventureland. So let's kind of get moving along with that, shall we? I went down to Hobby Lobby, 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 Hobby Lobby, Lobby, to pick up something for the Adventureland Porch. Now remember that there were 2 fountains, which is what I wanted. I wanted 2 fountains, but one of them, whereas it works, got a nice rhythmic sound to it. The other one was splash, 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 all over the place. So I took it out. Sound was much better, but I still want that second fountain in there. I like water features. So I went down to Hobby Lobby, Hobby Lobby, blah, 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 blah. And I got a bottle of soda. No. Actually, I got the bottle of soda at Five Below, which I went to afterwards. It's the real thing. So, I got a fairly good sized fountain. Now, I'm not planning to put this up with the black base on it. Well, the black base has to be on it, but I'm going to do something to kind of disguise it. It works perfect. It fits right in the bowl. The little bottom part of the bowl, this part right here, the width of it is the inside diameter is exactly the same as the outside diameter of the legs for this thing. So it fits right in there. Looks good. We have just the noise from the one fountain. We'll take a look at it tonight. Looks pretty darn good to me. Might be a little harder to see in the darkness, but it looks awesome. Does the job I want it to do. And we still have the sound of the other fountain right over yonder. Perfect. As you may have been able to tell by the intro of this little section here, something came in the mail, or came in the Amazon delivery, and it's not a boxes, it's packages. And this is part of the project. It's a boxes. It came in packages. This is for, like I said, it's for the Adventureland Porch special project. And it's a fan. It's a tiny. Now, you may wonder, well, what's the fan for? I hope you don't say it like that, but you may wonder what the fan is for, and I told you already. It's for part of the project for out on the Adventureland Porch. Now, it's not big enough to cool down the area, so it's obviously not a fan for that. Can't have a ton of power because it's tiny, but it does have a switch on it, so that's nice. What in Aunt Macy's private reserve was that all about? Jeez. Give me a little palpitation. I have another object here. It's not a boxes, it's a packages. And it's part 2 of, apparently, of, for the Adventureland Porch. Now that you know more about the Adventureland Porch, it might make more sense. And I'll just open this right up. Like it was nothing. It'll be easy to open. There we go. I got it open. Alright. First thing that comes out is a piece of paper. And it's my receipt. Okay. Here we go. Ready? It's a card. This is not... It's another card. I hope the thing I ordered is in here. Its bag isn't that big. There it is. It's, they're picos. What's a pico? Well, I'll tell you. A pico is a very, very tiny LED light. And should I ever find where this bag opens, there we go. Are these all separate? Hang on, I'm figuring it out. Now, we have the little pico lights. They're green, by the way. And then we have this fan. It's black, by the way. Now, what do you think I'm doing with the little green pico lights and the black fan? The black fan. Well, I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you. So, I will hold off on telling you, and I'll just show you. Well, it didn't work. I know why it didn't work. It didn't work because the fan is too underpowered. So I need to put a better grade fan down there. And obviously, now that I've given it away, I'm making fireflies. Well, from Amazon. This. It's a fan, another fan. Now this one, although it's a bit more conspicuous, but I know how I can make it inconspicuous. Hopefully, we'll have the push-em-up powers to be able to blow that little light around. Let's see if this produces any wind. This produces wind. That's wind. That's wind. That's what I needed in the first place. Now, how will it work outside? Well, there he is. And he's working just dandy. And he looks a lot better in real life than on this film, but there he is. So we have success on the Adventureland Porch. We now have the firefly. Now, I had a firefly in a jar one time that I bought. And I remembered this little bat got in here and was trying to get the thing out of the jar. I wonder if anything like that will show up for this guy. But it works, and that's the exciting thing. Well, got the firefly to work. Porch is looking a little better. I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. I'm not very happy with the dog across the way, who just won't stop bark, 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 bark. And his master's sitting out on the front porch. And apparently doesn't bother her. And it really didn't bother me that much for most of the time, but about the last 5 minutes it got a little annoying. So I pulled it inside. Not the dog, myself. But yeah, it's coming along. So I think we'll end this episode. Got mostly done what I wanted to get done. And we'll have some new stuff. Next episode is going to deal more on the Haunted Mansion homage. I've already started it actually, and it will show you more about, a little bit behind the scenes on this, because there really is more to this than just the way it looks, as a general rule. So get a chance to show that to you. In the meantime, you guys have yourselves a go for it. Ha! Great week. End of line.